on an island today. It's going to be painted, but I believe that we still have to use wood when we paint. And I refuse to use MDF or anything like that, especially for something like this. It's going to get banged by a vacuum cleaner or mop or things like that. So yes, I used maple. I really didn't call anything. I didn't really call out for anything cheaper or putting in. At this stage, I'd recommend somebody, if you're hiring a company, go to your shop, take a look at what they're putting in your home. Spray it all in one piece. What's great about that is we get all the joints filled, and you don't have any gaps. Spray. So it's a very difficult unit to spray. What I'm going to try and achieve when I spray is just totally get it wet, meaning everything's exact amount. I can tell by my eye, I can tell vertically when I look this way that I'll get it. Then I'll handle this one over here, and then last will be a front. That'll be the closest part, or it'll be actually the opposite the way it's going in the booth. That'll be at the other end, and that should be it. And then this will be ready for delivery on Monday. All right, I'm on install today, and one of the things that we love to promote, or I've been doing it for about almost 30 years, 30 years, is the ladder system for the base for our cabinets. And in this situation, the ladder base, I mean, it could just save your ass, as they say. We're able now to run all our wires. We got a plug on the front of the island, so we're able to run our wire right down here under our base. Now I'm running another plug. We got a three-way plug here, and we're going to run this down. We created a hole for the basement. We have this running down here. We're just running it for the electrician. There's an electrician on the customer hired. We won't do any electrical for customers. We always use an electrician. And the big headache now, like I got this level, I have this touching here, and I have 30 inches, because I need 30 inches for the top of my cabinet here. I'm about a 32nd, let's say a 16th, if we want to round it off right here. And I just barely have enough for the dishwasher. And you might say, well, I got 34 now. How'd you end up like this, Kevin? I'm going to tell you, there's an extension above us that they made here. They get this gorgeous view of these windows in behind us. And so what happened when they came with the floor, or the new one, they were level. And then when they came over here, they dropped. There's a big hump that's right here. It's about a half an inch. What I had to do was, I was lucky I had this in one piece, my facade or my island in front. So I was able to cut a half an inch there, sloped it that way, half an inch that way, sloped it there, this way. So now I'm pretty level here. I'm about a little up. I got a tack down at the end, and I'll just take, this is why the base system or ladder system, whatever you want to call this, is perfect. So right there, I'm pretty much spot on. So visually, I'll double check. So right there, I'm a touch over, even though I'm off on the level, but I'm going visual now. And right there is perfect. I'm right at 30 inches. And that leaves me about 1/8 of an inch down this way. But in this case, I'm lucky to get away with it, because if I try to lower this anymore, I won't be able to fit the dishwasher. You know, you can see quite the slope here on the floor, like it comes down here. It's not the customer's fault. They're having it done, and they're asking other people to get things done, and there was really no inspection or things like that. So I'm happy with this. I'm going to take one last look here. See where I am with my 30. So yeah, I'm about 30. And I'm 30. I dropped ever so slightly. So all I really have to do now on this island is just go in here. I'm hitting maple right here. I'm only using 1.5 inch screws. Here we go. I just go along like here. And if I'm ever slightly off or whatever when I put the cabinet on, I'll just make an adjustment. Now the critical one, I'm not going to put it in the floor yet. Like I just need a screw. I can do it in the front after. So what I'm gonna check here is, this is why it's like you really can't use a laser here. I know, you know, a lot of these companies are trying to sell lasers and things. Yeah, you can use it on the back wall if you want it, but I don't know how you do it on the front. So right there I'm level. Okay, I'm level. Then I'm gonna go here. I know I'm 1/8 of an inch off here. Right there. Because I had to sacrifice a bit because I'm literally going down a bit of a slope. So I gotta live it with the room and I gotta be a little visual. But at the end of the day, my cabinets and everything else will be perfectly flat. You won't know. Just the base you will though. Now I'll take this off. And I didn't set this up beforehand. And let's see. Is my cabinet going to be okay? So this is what's going here. Will be my drawer. Oh yeah, right on. You can see the top. How much do I have? So right there, I can't get any better. And I'm not gonna lie. I didn't set this up beforehand to have it level. That's how easy the base system is. You know, now I'll be able to go with my other cabinets are behind here. I'll pop them all in. I'll have this in about another hour, and the bigger hole here is for the pipe to go down. All electrical will be away from the water when they go down there. It's wide open. Now I'll drill a hole in my cabinet, a nice hole, 1 3/4 inches for my pipe to go straight down, and then my water lines. That's about it. I'm gonna start doing the boring stuff now, and then I'll show what happens at the end of this. Thank you. Good morning. Here we are today on the install. I'm joking around, the island from hell. We finally got everything installed. As we said before, we had the 1/2 inch, which really slowed everything down and, you know, made things. Now I'm getting the garbage pull. And they give you like a video, but it's like, I think it's totally useless because they got this door beside. So I don't have much forgiveness here. Like I gotta get like the other line, I gotta get right about there. Now how the heck do you do that without being all over the place? I'm not gonna put nails in this. I got beautifully sprayed, beautifully finished. I'm not gonna put pinholes and I'm not gonna cover it with putty. So what I do here is I put my screws right here. And I'm going to come out a little beyond. These aren't going to hold it up. They're just going to give me some markings to get a reference because it's like a total. Now, I don't know if I went too long because you can't see here, but there's a gap here about a good healthy 1/4 inch. Like I don't want to go through the face of my doors. I just want to get a marking. So let's see if I went far enough. Now I'm going to go here. Now I'm going to come down and I'm going to line it up, my door. So I got my foot here. It's a heavy door. Sometimes I would take spacers, but sometimes they're finicky and they can slow me down a bit. So I'm going to go here and then I'm going to put a mark. Now, as you can see here, I got 2 little holes there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna screw that in. There's no way in hell. So I got a fine bit here, a 1/8 bit. Then I'll take this because I only have about 1/2 inch material on this door because of the paneling. So now I'm going here. And it could be a little crooked, but I can adjust that after. Along with what's critical is my height. So now I'm right here, and I'm gonna, and it lines up perfectly now. You know, I can see from the top, and I got 1, and I got 2. All right? But I'm only going to go very little, because I can blast out through this, and then I'll be stuck going to my shop and respraying this. Okay, I got a little bite, right? And I got another little bite. I know it's a little crooked, because I know it moved on me a little by 1/16. But this is a heavy door, eh? It's solid, the panel. So you can see I'm still wobbly here, right? But on the side, here, now I can sneak a 5/8 screw, and then I'm on my rail right here. So this I can do all day long. So you can see now, I got enough to work with it. And I'm gonna sneak. They say you never put your back to the camera, but well, today's a different day, but I'm going to go this side first and see if I'm okay. And this is a Rivia product. I used to make these, and they used to have such crap on the market, but now I'm really liking the Rivia. Now I'm just going to go test it. Oh, look at that, eh? I'm great here on my height. I'm great there. Now I just got to pull over a little bit here. And you can see the gap. See, this door isn't adjusted. I can always hide about 1/16 of an inch. All right, now I'm going to pull that 1/16 of an inch. I know it's just a little bit of pressure right here. Okay, let's see, I might have pulled too much. I didn't pull quite enough. I'm ever so slightly, but I'm going to look over here, see how I am with my cabinet. I can see I'm a little off. So the good thing is I got multiple screws here. I got, God knows how many they have here. So I'm going to try this again. I'm just eyeballing it. Okay, so it's a little more play than I like here. You know, I don't know if I can, let's see if I can get it here. All right, I'm going to pull at the bottom. It's not much, it's just enough to really be a nuisance. Okay, I'm not going in all the way with that. There, I got it. I'm about at not even a 32nd there. I can live with that. I'm looking here on my reveal here. I'm going visual here. It looks pretty straight, so I can pick up now with my drawer faces. So now that I got that, now I'm not gonna start cranking these screws in because I can knock the thing out. So I'm gonna go grab a couple more. And you just go ever so slightly. I got a little bit of tension on the bottom. They do have adjustments here, but I think they're, I don't know, I've never used them, to be honest with you. I managed to always get these in pretty good. But you can see the instructions there, and here they are telling you, like, go measure and get that in. But there's so much play on their bracket that you go here, you'll be cursing it. You'll be there for an afternoon trying to do a simple little job. Now I'm going here. Same thing. I'm not gonna tighten these because the thing is I can knock it out, and if I knock it out 32nd or even 16th in, I want this nice. So I'm very happy. I got like 4 screws on this 5/8 and with metal. So let's see. Did I move it? No, I'm still good with my gap. Actually, I'm a little better. I got lucky on that. going the right way. All right? And then now I'm going to go around. I'm going to start at the bottom and tighten one. So these ones are going to stop it from moving. There. And there. Now let's see if I moved it. I know this is a pain in the ass, but if you don't do it, you can twist it out. Now I know this is on an angle. I'm just going to push it ever so slightly. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now I'm going on this side. I'm getting that one torqued, and then I'm going to get this one torqued. There we go. We're in a nice spot here. And I'm going to double check here, the middle's not done. I got this screw here, which if I let it go, it'll be fine, but I don't want to leave that in. I'm going to see here that if I can use that screw now, and then I can turn a bit. Like I'm a little off right here. I don't know if I'm better off. I'm gonna take that screw out here, release a little tension. And there we go. So I got that one pretty good. The other one, I wouldn't mind pushing out on it. But I don't know if I can. This is a screw that I put in. I'm going to see if I can push out on it. No, I'm not going to chance it. And then that's it. And then now I'll deal with a screwdriver here. And I won't deal with the drill. You know? And I'm just going to tip it ever so slightly. You know? To get it. I'm tight there, but I'm a little crooked here. So anyways, that's it with the Rivia. You know, I'm not a fan of this, the way they have this. It's like, okay, I got it loose here, so I want to pull it up a touch and keep it out like the other side. But you see here, like I totally twisted it, you know. I'm right about there, so I'm gonna tighten that up. There. All right. I'm almost flush here. Now if I can bring, I want a bit of a tip here, eh? And there you go. It's installed. And what I always do is you got to pre-drill first. What's very important is keeping the drill perfectly straight. Like right here. Don't waver, because you'll see why it's important in a sec. So I kind of come here, do the other side. Then I'm going to get my other drill and drill. And I'm using drywall screws because what I like about them, they got the threads on top, but they're only a number 6. Very thin. And if they snap, I'm happy with that than actually splitting the wood. I've seen it, the other one, it's number 8 would come along the maple and screw in, not properly pre-drilled, and the whole wood just split right along. And that's the reason why I love these. So I go up, I don't know if I went out far enough, I'll find out in about 2 seconds. I don't want to go too far, so I'm out about a healthy 1/4 of an inch. Now coming along here, I got all this adjusted now. So everything's nice and straight, because now I can pick up all my drawers. I'm going to go here, and just, you know, I know I'm using a little piece of cardboard, I'm just using something to give me a little bit of spacer. Maybe like the tile guys, you can use their little spacers, but for now I'm using this. And what I'm looking at is, I'm going here. I got my height. I got a slight V here, but the reveal is pretty good. So I'm gonna take a little bit of a V here, ever so slightly. And I'm straight on the other side, so I'm gonna walk away from this. Meaning I'm gonna hit it now. Now, if I didn't go far enough, I wouldn't have two marks there. So now I go here, and I just go enough to start it. So I'm just breaking through. And I break it through. Now, I would never do this and put pins in through here. I could see it a mile away. There'd be some customers that probably wouldn't notice, but I sure as hell would notice. And it takes very little effort to do this. Now I got my hole. And remember too, if I do a mistake, I can start over and do this over again. So I kind of come in here, and I'm just going to start it. Now I'm going to back out a bit, get tighter. And I'm going to do the same over here, back out. And then that's why, you see why it's important to use that drill. Now, I got it, you know, and I could always cheat a bit inside the slide and bring it out. And the reason why I used the full extension, not the undermount, in this case, they're older people, they have grandchildren and things like that, and there's so many kids getting hurt with cheap cabinetry. I can't stress enough, you know. Like, this gets full of pots, drawers. You get a 2-year-old that's going to come like this. He's going to lean on this. He could do this all day long. No 2-year-old's going to knock this out. But the undermount drawers, they have a pin underneath and they can tip. And I used to get calls on the self-closing. People would load these up and they wouldn't close properly. And then they would call me and say, oh, there's something wrong with our drawer or your install. And I'd say, well, I go there and I lift the drawer out and I could barely lift it. You know, so I give people the option. I'll put in whatever they want, you know. But these are my go-to slides, and usually people that have kids or grandkids or whatever, hands down, these are the safest ones. Now I'll probably get some comments down below saying, oh, I use them, okay, fine, that's nice. But why aren't undermounts drawer slides used for filing cabinets? Answer that one. Alright, so now I got this set. I'm very happy. Things are going good today. The customer's not asking me too many questions today, so it's really speeding along. Okay, anyways, that's it. Thank you very much. Now we're finishing up the cabinet. Now all of the drama is over. A lot of times when they see it open with the cabinet and you're fitting it in and the room's not cooking, maybe trying to explain things, and sometimes their backs get up on the wall. But when they started seeing all the doors and everything on, their eyes really lit up, and they realized like the detail we try to keep to finishing nails at a minimum. Now, I saw a lot of the internet, I don't know what guys are doing for the holes, but it's so important to have just a nice clean hole. Here's for the drain. I'm just wide enough, maybe I went a little ½ inch over. I don't like going exact. And if you come over here, inside the cabinet, you see at the very bottom, we have 3 holes. That's for the drain, for 1.5 inches, and the 2 other holes are for the packs, for the water to come up. And there we go. There's a dishwasher, and plus there's an extra hole there for the water. And you can see here now. Now we're down to nitty gritty. You see our finishing here. We managed to get all the sides done, all nicely flush. I spared you the part on the video. Next time I might just speed it up and show you really how long it took. It took a few hours, I won't lie, to get it where I felt it was just right. And you can see I did the exact same over there. I was pushed out about ½ inch here because of my panel, and also because they didn't want the post on the front. Then I modified the cabinet. Then I was like, okay, what do? I put a piece here, I put a piece there. So this, normally I would have had this piece more flush here, but in this case, because of all the, for the modifications I did. And if you come around the other side, and I don't know if you can't really tell that the bottom was cut a ½ inch. You see, like we can see, we know what to look for. We can see the floor, so I managed to get it pretty good. I'm very happy with that. He has this plug-in with the USB, and I think that looks great with the black there. It really disappears. When he gets his countertop in, you won't notice it. And he has the same on this side, and he's going to have a switch up here for the fan. So that's about it. It's a new kitchen here. Now the granite guy will come in and take a template. Now we got to do the other section. They're redoing the other section. We're not painting this. They have a painter that's going to come in and do all this. He took the doors already, and we did the right section. We added a couple of cabinets for them. So we're going to install that now. I don't know if I'll finish today. I might have to come back for a few hours on Monday, which is kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I got to drill a whole 4-inch hole up there for his fan. And I got to go out through the bathroom, so that's going to be a little frustrating. So it is what it is. But as for people who want to start out and try to handle your customers, you really got to be patient. I think a lot has to do with they get really nervous on what's going on. Please don't do that again, please. And so everything's turning out really well. And that's it. At the end of the game is making the customers happy. And their vision of what they want. They did come down to our shop and look at I had a chance to really see it up close, which I can't stress the importance of enough. The worst thing, I think, if you make something like this and go deliver it to somebody's house, and then you're showing up the truck with a couple of guys, and then they get very nervous on, is this what I ordered, everything else. It's harder when you're the smaller cabinet guy and you're dealing one-on-one, because they know it's your company. And so you can get a lot of attention, a lot of flack. I know when guys are subcontracting, dealing with the bigger, they don't really care. They just walk off. They just say, okay, you go talk to the salesman and deal with him. I'm not dealing with this today. You're stressing my space out. All right. And that's it for the inside. We'll wind down. I'm excited to see the countertop on this. I think it's going to look amazing. And then when we get the rest of the cabinets in. So it really did open up. If you turn around here, on this side, and you can see the view. They really do have a lot of light, and they could really get away with this color. It's a gorgeous view with a gorgeous patio. So we got it done for them just in time. Summer has sprung here. It doesn't look like it out there, but the next couple of days they're going to be beautiful. So we finally wrapping up the island install. We made the couple of cabinets over here. The rest of the cabinets were finished. As you can see, it looks great. I mean, we had taken pictures a month ago. You saw the top. It kind of looks god awful. Everything came out great. If you look under here, from that end to that end, there's no gaps. The countertop came in. It can be really hard going that span without a gap. Like we got a full just under 11 feet of countertop. And I'm sure if I put a level on there, it would be pretty level. You see at the bottom of the feet, this is where the arch was, and we took the ½ inch out from there. We were able to cut it out, and we kind of got this in the room. It was really tricky. The big advantage is this piece being delivered in one piece, as opposed I've seen on YouTube and other cabinet companies, and they're slipping 1/4 inch panels on the outside and then put little corner rounds in the bottom. I'm like, wow. I mean, that's pretty bad. This is all solid maple. They'll never have any issues with it. They really have to give it a massive blow or anything else like that. Important thing is you don't have to worry about water going underneath and ruining 1/4 inch little panels. Going over on the other side. The drawers are a full overlay. And we have them within, I always try 3/32. I know that sounds silly. 1/8 of an inch is a little big. It can look a little sloppy. And 1/16 is too tight. Doors will start to swell up a bit. So everything's working great. We came here after a month, so nothing has come loose. You know, usually it will come loose within the first week. So everything's working great. The drawers are all, you know, all nice and flush. The only thing I would say, they put it down to 36 and I wanted like 42. Would it have made a big difference? Like they had the space, but they saved a bundle on the countertop. They were able to shop and get this piece for here and there, and I think that was pretty wise. I think this countertop, they would have probably been to 7,000, but I know they were able to shave a few thousand. I won't tell you how much they paid. They did a seam over here, and I think the seam is quite good. It was quarter. You know. You wouldn't know it until you looked. I think the only thing at the end of the day is that they went and shopped the countertop, or they shopped us, and the countertop people gave them drawings. We sent them drawings. And we were realistic on the sizes and everything else, but sometimes with homeowners who've never seen drawings can get a little confused when they see it in the shop. You know, at first she's a little disappointed, thought she had more room, but at the end of the day, everything worked out great. I think the pullout garbage can, there was reservations about that, but I can see here, you know, it looks nice and neat. You know, as opposed to having the garbage inside here under the sink. They're hard to pull out. And the extra wide drawer here, you know, nice, put her cutlery there. She has tons of space. I always like the drawers longer because everything, you read left to right. So when you see a drawer like that, you look left to right. When you have drawers that are narrow, you look top to bottom, and that's not a natural way to look. So the only thing about it was the time. Like they end up waiting almost 2 months for the floor to get in. We came, I think, within two days when they called when the floor was in. They waited almost a month for the even though they had the countertop pre-bought. By the time the month came in, so they were, at the end of the day, the project took them about 4 months from this day till when they approached us. Exactly 4 months. Was it on us? I said 4 to 6 weeks. I think I was pretty much spot on. I had to wait. We had to sit in our hands with this unit to get it installed till the floor was ready. That's a common thing. The only other thing is with the extensions, if you're hiring or getting it done, get them to go lower. Don't get them to try and come in on the same height. I've never ever seen them come in exactly on the same height. Every time they've tried, there's a little part that's off, make sure they go lower. You can always bring it up, like with 1/4 inch plywood or self-leveling cement. You can get that, but leaving that 1/2 inch can become a nightmare after. The only part that I did twist was this section here, because this came down here, so they have a little gap there. You know, could I have brought this up? Yes, but I would have had a big gap on the bottom. So it was that was a trade-off. That's easy to hide. Other than that, you see the stuff on the floor. This is why you want to get, metal or, plywood cabinets. A lot of times, like we put wood in here. We didn't make this cabinet, but we helped modify it. We made this bigger. The painter's going to come. We painted the doors, and he's going to paint this door. And you can see with the plastic clips over time, especially when you got weight like this in here, that they just snapped off. This is our cabinet that we made. We used all plywood. It was a shame the painter painted the inside of it. It wasn't my idea. It was natural, but anyways. But you can see, there's no danger. That's a big thing, that plywood versus melamine. Like inside here, everything's plywood. They'll never ever have an issue, even if water leaks there. Same thing with the drawers. They have grandkids, and I'm not, like, they're older, mind you, they're grandkids, but I know that there's heavier undermount. I haven't explored them yet. They're super expensive. I'll see about that in my next job, but we're very happy with it. The client's ecstatic. I mean, they got great patience. Just, it's a timing issue. It takes longer. And then there were like little changes here with this project, with making this a little shorter. Was I happy about making it a little shorter? No. Would I have delivered or pushed it? No. That was the confusion, or on my part. I just did the drawings, and I assumed, be minimum 42. But that's it in a nutshell. But the big advantage is what to look for. Look for a cabinet shop that's going to allow you to go in that shop. You can take a look at your cabinets and think, okay, is this really what I wanted? There's certain things that she thought was, because nobody's really read drawings. Nobody understands them. Like, you look at a picture, oh, that looks great on the computer. But to actually physically see it is another thing. So highly recommend having full access to a cabinet shop before it's being delivered. That means seeing it before it gets painted or anything else, so that if there is changes, it could usually mean a day. Say $60 or $80 an hour. You could have $600, $800 worth of changes, which isn't bad for a project this size. So other than that, I'm happy with it. I'm ecstatic that we got this. We got this in. The 1/2 inch is hidden, and moving on to the next job. What we did with the shelf here, if it ever snaps, take a look underneath. We put a piece of wood and screwed it in for them. And that'll solve the problem. I don't, even though, like, it technically wasn't our responsibility, but we just wanted to make these folks happy. Their wall turned out really nice, and it really looks sharp, the gray with the white. They did a nice job. The installers did a nice job with the countertop. So we would recommend them. And I'm trying to move it right now, just because I'm one of those guys. And that's but I love when I go on my work with this, with a wood countertop. It's solid. It's solid. I will never use plastic bases or things like that. You could never do this with store-bought counter. You'd be like going like this, and the thing would be shaking. you know. So remember that. It's about strength. Like now everybody wants bigger cabinets, bigger countertops. So remember, it starts from the ground up. And that's the end of this project. Thank you.